What's up? It's DJ, and I'm just going to be talking about my experience with NBA2K. So I've been playing 2K for about 3 years now. My first game was 2K18, and it was pretty bad. It wasn't good. The park, everything was so spread out, and then it wasn't a fun experience. And B-Fresh was so annoying. I didn't even know why they had her in the game. What was the point of her being in the game? Nobody knows why she's in the game. And then she started promoting ads. Okay. And then we get 2K19. And 2K19 was at the start with all the pushing and everyone being stretch fours. That wasn't fun. But then they got rid of pushing, and then the game was actually pretty fun after that. And then they also they fixed the neighborhood. Even though we just wanted parks, they changed it, and it was pretty nice. 2K19 is one of the best games of the current gen. It doesn't beat 16, or I say 17 is probably even better than 19. It was still a pretty nice game. But then 2K20 came around, and we got the demo, and they changed the system for my career. Instead of archetypes, they had pie charts, and I thought that was a cool concept. You have more customization over your build. I was like, yeah, let's go. 2K20 is going to be such a good game. They didn't change anything. They changed nothing except for that and the way that my team cards look. And maybe added, they added the spin the wheel thing. And they added these things to the most dominant game modes, or game modes that can make them the most money. My team does make them the most money. You don't even have to see it. You can already tell. You need lots of VC, because the chances of pulling an actual good card is so low. I pulled the Galaxy Opal Michael Jordan this year in a singles pack, but that was a very lucky pull. One of the luckiest pulls I've ever had. And then it was just my team. My team was good this year, but that's because they released so much new content, the LaMelo Ball, the Anthony Edwards, the Wiseman, the Next Generation packs. That was the first time college and people who weren't in the NBA made it into the game. Well, I get technically WNBA, but they're still affiliated with the NBA because they're both in the same organization. But so that was really nice. I actually pulled one of those players. But I play a lot of my league. That's what I got into, because career mode was really bad in 18, so I didn't want to play that. My team, I didn't have enough VC to spend, so I would play my league, and it's really fun. And you can tell that they don't put any effort into my league. So in 2K18 to 19, they changed it. And I feel like the reason why 19 is so liked is because the transition from 18, because 18 is considered the worst 2K of all time. The transition from 18 to 19 was so big, the differences between the game, you can tell. So 19's My League didn't add anything, but they just polished it. They made it look nicer. Yeah, they that's all they really did. They made it look nicer, and they didn't really update it. Why don't they update it? Obviously, they're not making as much money, so that's why they probably don't update it. But King the Fourth Quarter said something in one of his videos. I'll probably even link that in the description, because I want you guys to see. Yeah, I'll just summarize it here, but you could watch the video because I'm gonna link it in the description. Basically, he said, even though things like social media and seeing the updates on the bottom is cool, but nobody wants that. We want we want the game to be real, because the point of my league is to rebuild, but you want the most realistic one, not for it to be an easy breeze. Obviously, you would kind of want it, but you also want the game to be realistic. Let's say, every player in the draft lives up to the full potential. That's not possible. If you go back to 2003, do a 2003 rebuild, and you put in all the draft classes, all the bust, they just live up to not their full potential, because their potential is lower. But let's say Darko Milicic starts off as a 71 and his max potential is like an 80. He'll live up to the 80. There's a 0% chance that he won't at least get up to that. And it sucks that 2K, they don't add realism to the game. And okay, obviously my team, not realistic, because it's not supposed to be a realistic game mode. My career, it's halfway there. In Park, I guess you would kind of want the more realistic game mode for it to be more realistic, But then in my league, that's where you need it to be super realistic, and it's not, because players there's no chance of them being a bust. RJ Barrett in 6 years in my league would probably be an 89 or a 90 or something like that. But let's say there was a smaller percent chance, because he was at the top of the lottery, that he doesn't go and that he doesn't hit that 90 overall, and he just stays at 79, and then he leaves the league early. There's a 0% chance of that. There's actually a chance in the real NBA. And just stuff like that. And also the ratings. Some of the ratings are crazy. Some of the ratings don't make sense to me. And also the tendencies or the potential. You're telling me Devontae Graham has an 80 potential when he's an 80 overall right now? You're telling me that he won't get better? Because he definitely will get better. He 100% will get better, because he's so young. He will get better. So it's not there's no realism. Or maybe he just stays that. Maybe there is a slight chance that he just stays like that his whole career, but it's really low. And you have to put them in training camps, and obviously they will get a little bit better. They will still kind of progress, but not as much. Devontae Graham won't reach a 90, but there is still a chance that he will, because he just got into the league. He's a brand new player. 2K doesn't add realism at all. They focus on my team's still getting new content. They just got a new Shaq today. Actually, I don't think a new Shaq today, but they're still getting packs. But then in 2K19, they ended the packs in July. They're still probably gonna bring out content until, I don't know, 2K21, and they might right when 2K21 releases in September. And my career is decent. It's not crazy good content. But no, they're not really getting content, but you can still play Park, that mode. And then there's other modes playing online that people don't usually play. I'm actually playing it in the background, and it's I don't know, I just play when I get bored, because it's one of those game modes. But let me look at some other game modes. Obviously Blacktop is needed, and people saying nobody plays Play Now, but it is needed. It is needed for the game. If there's no Play Now, then how would you play if your friends or family come over? Let's go to my league. Oh yeah, WNBA season. Well, that doesn't matter, because it's not you can actually it's not you can actually do trades, or you can only sign free agents, and the free agents are terrible. And it's not you go into free agency. It's the free agents that are in the pool already and that aren't signed in the teams. J.R. Smith just got signed to the Lakers. It's those type of free agents. Why do we have that as an option for my league if there's no point, and you can just play now to play with the WNBA teams? It's not too many people are even playing that anymore. Obviously my career, my team, and then obviously all the Play Now modes are mandatory. Are necessary, because it's just they're necessary. And then you also got 2K TV, and then they also got the create a shoe, or create a draft class, or create a roster. They also got the 2K Beach, which doesn't even really matter. And I saw something on TikTok. Quavo's Quavo's 2K Dreamless, and he said new drip. He also said a hard soundtrack and player covers, none of those are necessary to have a good game. You don't need a fire song in the background. Obviously it's nice, but if you're a content creator, like I just got back into YouTube. I used to have an old YouTube channel, but like people like Chris Move or Adrian or any YouTubers in the 2K community, they can't use the songs in the background, which sucks. Like you can't. You'll get copyright strike if you use the songs in the background. So what's the point of like all the content creators have to turn it off, and it's not like it serves a purpose in the game. Like they can focus more on the 2K soundtrack that has nothing to do. And like even if you look at the soundtrack, yeah, it's good. It has nice songs on there, but who really cares? Who cares about the soundtrack? Who cares if you update it? Agent said in one of his videos, he's like, oh yeah, the only reason why the songs are good is if you hear it on like the radio or something like that, and then you're like, oh yeah, that was 2K17, 2K19. So yeah, they serve no purpose of the game, and also the cover has nothing to do with what the game is. Like, let's say they have Dame on the cover this year. It's gonna be 2K19.3 or 3.0, which is gonna be really bad for current gen. But yeah, let's say Dame's on the cover, and then I don't know, maybe they have a second cover. Like, oh yeah, I know this isn't happening because they already released the covers. Let's say so Dame is on the cover, and then they have Harden on the cover. You're like, choose whoever you want. How was that a selling point? It doesn't change what the game has to offer. And it's stuff like that. Like, it was obviously an ad by 2K because it was on 2K's TikTok. And also Ben Simmons one, he was like, he wants a higher rating new animations. And like something else, I forgot what it was. Oh, insane graphics. Obviously they had to put the rating just to make it seem like it was real, but that's not what we want. They don't listen to us. They listen to the celebrities because that's all Ronnie does. And it's not like Ronnie makes the game, but he can, like, I don't know why 2K just doesn't listen to the consumers. It's so like crazy to me that they don't want to make a good game. They just want to make money. Yeah, sure, you can add more sweat to the player and they can look better. They didn't even look better. Nice. Okay, 2K TV, and they even had ads in 2K19, non-skippable ads. Obviously, I'm pretty sure they had one this year for like the protest. Obviously, I get that one, but last year they had one where they made you watch the ad. And like, what? When? Like, okay, on YouTube, there's some ads that are really short, so you can't skip them, but they're like 10 seconds. There's one where it's like, even if they are longer, you can skip the ad in 5 seconds. That ad was like a minute long, and we had to sit through that because 2K wanted to make extra money. Like, it doesn't make sense. I just went off. I've been dealing with 2K for 3 years now. I just want them to make a good game, and I do have some hope because I've heard from people who played 2K13 and then played 2K14 on the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, and they said it was actually a pretty nice game. So I do have some hope because 2K does seem like they're actually trying to make a good game for 2K21 on next gen, not in current gen, but next gen. So just don't get too pumped up for the current gen. Goodbye. Have a good day. Can you please like and subscribe? That would be I will be very happy if you do that. Thank you. Goodbye.